death.
Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video. Today we're taking a look at the Baby Dragon because it did receive a buff in the recent update. I want to try it out and see whether or not the buff is actually noticeable and if it's enough to make this card competitive again. Now here's the deck I'm using. It's just a fun little Lava Hound Goblin Barrel deck that I've been playing around with. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of replays and then we'll finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, facing off against a level 10 opponent inside the Frozen Peak Arena. This is on my second account, by the way. It's the only account that I actually had the Lava Hound on. Now, I'm going to go ahead here, use that WoW emote, just because I'm facing off against a level 10 opponent as a level 8. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm still surprised matching up against level 10s, sitting at like 2,600 trophies, who have all level 10 comments against my level 6 rares. So this is going to be a pretty big uphill battle here. Lava Hound going up on the right hand side. My opponent is starting out a push on the left hand lane with the knight up front as well as the minions. So I'm going to go ahead and use the cannon to distract that knight. And then once the minions get in range, I'm going to go ahead and use the Zast spell to weaken them. And in the end, he only gets one minion hit on my tower. And he also uses the poison spell, so definitely not too bad right there. My opponent spent a ton of elixir on that push. Now the Goblin Barrel going down, but unfortunately my opponent does have the Zast spell available, which isn't too bad. All I really was doing right there was testing the waters and trying to find out what kind of counter cards my opponent has. And right here, my opponent makes an interesting move. He drops down the Knight just before the Lava Hound explodes. And what that actually does is it distracts 4 out of these 6 lava pops and prevents a ton of damage to his tower. So as you can see, he's dragging 2 of those pops with him. Mini Packet going down to counter the Knight there, sorry. Gonna go ahead and use the cannon to distract that Valkyrie. Now here's an interesting thing with the Baby Dragon. One of the weaknesses with the Baby Dragon, is my opinion, is on defense, is he's not able to distract certain troops like Valkyries, Mini Pekkas, and stuff like that. Whereas something like a Valkyrie for the same 4 elixir is so much stronger on defense because you can go ahead and use a Valkyrie in the back behind a giant, and the Valkyrie by itself will often take out a bunch of support troops, whereas you can't rely on the Baby Dragon to do the same thing. Now right here, Lava Hound going up on the right hand side once again, and this time I'm thinking about going out with the Goblins to bait out the Zast spell, and then going in afterwards with the Goblin Barrel, but unfortunately he drops down the Knight. Now right here, this is what I'm talking about. If I had the Valkyrie, I could have went ahead and used the Valkyrie to counter that Knight, counter the Ice Wizard, and also counter the Spear Goblins, all for one 4 elixir card, but I'm forced to use the Baby Dragon as well as the Mini Pekka, and I still take a bunch of damage in the process. But on the right hand side, the Lava Hound doing a little bit of damage to the tower, and he's also going to explode here pretty soon, but once again my opponent is going to use that Knight to distract the Lava Pups, so I'm not going to get too much damage to the tower. But we are in the double elixir period, so I've already cycled back to another Lava Hound, keeping the pressure on. He's coming with the Goblin Barrel right here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Goblins as well as the Baby Dragon to distract it, and then start doing a push on the right hand side. So Lava Hound crossing the river here, going to go ahead and use a Mini Pekka and maybe force him to drop down a counter card to distract the Mini Pekka, and then use the Goblin Barrel. But once again, I forced to defend with the cannon distracting the Valkyrie. He also has the Zast spell there to take out my Goblin Barrel. I've been trying to mix up the location of my Goblin Barrel, trying to catch my opponent off guard, but he's not actually falling for it. But take a look at this, the Lava Hound bringing his tower all the way down to 240 health. He's going to explode, releasing the Lava Pops. A couple Lava Pops hit, bringing his tower all the way down to 15 health, and all I really need to do is do a Fireball or a Zap spell, and I will get the 1 crown victory. So here we go, guys. Fireball going down, giving me the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead here to the next replay. So here we are, guys. Now take a look at this defense to start out this battle. I had the Mini Pekka as well as the Baby Dragon available. My opponent is going to come in with a Hog Rider as well as some Goblins. Now the Baby Dragon, for some reason, has a pretty small splash radius. So as you can see right here, Mini Pekka going down, Baby Dragon also going down, but the Baby Dragon is only able to hit 1 out of those 2 Goblins, and as a result, that second Goblin gets a couple stabs off on my tower. Whereas if I would have had a Valkyrie instead, the Valkyrie would have in one shot taken out all of those Goblins, and I wouldn't have taken as much damage on my tower. So definitely a little bit of a difference there between the Baby Dragon as well as the Valkyrie. Now I want to hear what you guys think about the Baby Dragon. I definitely think it needs an additional buff, maybe in the regards to its health, or in my opinion it needs a huge buff to the splash damage radius, because the Baby Dragon isn't able to counter by itself a pack of Barbarians, because often the Baby Dragon can only hit 2 or 3 out of the 4 Barbarians, whereas if you spent the same 4 elixir on a Valkyrie, the Valkyrie by itself would take out all the barbarians. Now right here, Goblin Barrel going down, he drops down the minion horde to defend, and thankfully a couple of the goblins get a couple of stabs off on that tower before the minions take him out, and as a result we do some decent damage to the tower, bringing it down to 1200 health. Now once again he's coming with the Hog Rider. Unfortunately my Zap spell isn't high enough level to kill all the goblins, and as a result I have to soak up some damage from that one single goblin who made it to my tower. So definitely not too good, given that I am facing a higher level opponent with some higher level cards. But gonna sit back here and start building up the elixir, then maybe do another Lava Hound push on the left hand side. I still have the damage lead, even though I'm facing somebody that's one level higher. So down goes the Lava Hound on the bottom left corner. Gonna start building up the elixir once again. As you can see, my opponent doesn't really have the ideal hand to defend against his Lava Hound, so he's gonna go ahead and place on the cannon to try and distract my Lava Hound, which honestly isn't too bad, because I'm gonna go ahead and use the Baby Dragon to counter the cannon, and the cannon can't defend against anything. Now take a look at this. Baby Dragon taking out that entire minion horde pretty quickly thanks to the attack speed buff, but I still think it needs some sort of buff to the radius of its splash damage. I feel like a Baby Dragon's attack should hit all the minions in a minion horde in one attack, instead of finishing off half the minion horde first, and then still having 2 minions left over to finish off. Now right there, doing a little bit of damage to the tower, bringing it down to 600 health, and I've already cycled back to another Lava Hound, so keeping the pressure on, and I do have the Fireball available to take out the minion horde. Gonna go ahead and send in some goblins, but unfortunately he does drop down the cannon to take him out. All I really was trying to do with the goblins was to hopefully bait out the Zap spell, but I wasn't able to do so. Now right here, Goblin Barrel going down, cannon going down to distract his Hog Rider, but he has a couple of goblins doing some decent damage to my tower. But we have a huge damage lead here. His tower sitting at 32 health, my tower sitting at 1000 health, so all I really need to do is use one Zap spell or one Fireball, and I will be able to get the 1 crown victory. Gonna go ahead and use the Lava Hound here just for fun, and then I'm gonna try and use the Fireball in just a moment to get that 1 crown victory, but my opponent is gonna come in with a Hog Rider, and thankfully at the very last second, I get the cannon down to distract it, and there we go guys, getting the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead here and do a live battle. So here we go guys, now let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the Baby Dragon. I definitely think, in my opinion, that if you're going to spend 4 elixir on a splash damage card, you're so much better off with a Valkyrie, because the Valkyrie is just so much more versatile. She does exceptionally well on defense as well as offense, whereas the Baby Dragon just really isn't as strong on defense. And especially if you guys have the Ice Wizard, who does splash damage, has moderate health, and only costs 3 elixir, there's almost no use to use the Baby Dragon if you guys have an Ice Wizard. But I definitely think it's still kind of outclassed by the Valkyrie. Sorry, let's go ahead here, use that Mini P.E.K.K.A, counter that Hog Rider, maybe use a Goblin Barrel here. He did use his Zap spell. So let's see what we can do here. Goblin Barrel going down, let's do some stabby. Thank you. There we go. And let's go ahead and use his goblins right here. So there we go, taking out the Mini P.E.K.K.A. So have a damage lead so far in this battle, definitely not doing too bad. But I just feel like the Baby Dragon just doesn't do so well on defense. Like, if your opponent is coming with a pack of Barbarians, that same 4 elixir on a Valkyrie just counters all those Barbarians so well, whereas the Dragon will only be able to hit 3 out of the 4 Barbarians per each attack, and often 1 Barbarian will still make it to your tower. Oh, we're coming in, I'm going to stop talking here. Fireball all this, hit that, there we go, and maybe we can do a, I want to do a Baby Dragon here for support. He used all of his air defense, I think. Send in the Baby Dragon right there. And then he has that Zap spell available. Can we do a technique right here? Throw it in the corner and catch him off guard, maybe? Does he use the Zap spell? What does he use? Let's zap all this. There we go. He misses the tower. Thankfully, the goblins are doing some work for me right there. Taking out the tower, giving me the 1 crown lead. There we go. And let's see here. What do we have? He's probably going to come out with a Hog Rider in a couple of seconds. Right here. No, so we're going to soak up that damage from those minions. Take actually no damage at all. Let's try and go for the 3 crown victory. We still have a minute left, and I do need my crown chest, so let's go ahead and do that. Try and go for the 3 crown. Sometimes, guys, I'll honestly have the victory in the bag, and then I'll make a huge mistake like this. But what I was trying to say is I'll have the victory in the bag, but I'll try and be stupidly aggressive and go for that 3 crown victory, and then end up losing the battle because I spend all of my elixir trying to go for the 3 crown, when really I should just be focusing on defending and holding up for the 1 crown. But let's see here. Baby Dragon up front with that. Let's go ahead and use a Mini P.E.K.K.A. Hopefully the Baby Dragon will turn around and counter those minions for me. No! Oh, thank you, Baby Dragon, for doing nothing. There we go. Another Lava Hound there. We are going to go ahead and zap, maybe. Zap that. And then use another Baby Dragon right here. Baby Dragon should counter those minions as well as those Spirit Goblins. Let's go ahead with a Golem Barrel right here. There we go, Baby Dragon taking that out. Let's go use this Mini P.E.K.K.A right here. There we go. And so he's going to take out Hara out. This is what I mean, guys, about just being stupidly aggressive and then actually losing a battle where I could have won. Like, if I would have just defended for a little bit, I probably could have got the victory easily. But I'm just playing stupidly and trying to go for that 3 crown. So we're going to leave that Mini P.E.K.K.A there. And then he's going to come in with this right here. Let's go ahead and do this with some of this. Baby Dragon right here. And hopefully the Baby Dragon will be able to turn around and then go back on a counter push. There we go. Take out those minions, please. Thank you. Now, once that is in range, we're going to go ahead and Goblin Barrel action right there. Thank you. And there we go. Zap all this. Save the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And there we go. Lava Hound is still alive. Mini P.E.K.K.A is distracted. Go ahead and use a second Lava Hound right here. Get this Baby Dragon ready to take out these minions. Come on, give me the victory, please, with 8 seconds left. I should have had the victory, guys, but like I said, I was playing stupidly there. Let's zap all this. There we go. Boom. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. A couple seconds left. There we go. Getting the 3 crown victory with only 3 seconds left. There we go, guys. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.